the past few days, Iran has shocked the Americans as well as many Muslims. They have demonstrated that they have a capable army, a capable military doctrine, and the ability to resist a far superior military power. The question on the lips of many is, where was this when the Muslims in Gaza needed defending and who continue to die in their tens of thousands? Let's take a look. Iran has defended itself against an unjustified, illegal aggression by America and its Zionist colony on its territory. Iran has responded in a very bold fashion. They have not only destroyed many of the American bases in the Gulf, they have even attacked CIA offices in Dubai. They have also sent missiles across to the Zionist colony occupying Palestine and caused severe damage in Tel Aviv and also to the Mossad building in Tel Aviv. Iran has demonstrated that it has the capability, it has the political willpower and a cunning military doctrine to outsmart a far superior enemy. And it seems that this has inadvertently let the cat out of the bag. All these years when the rulers in the region were saying that we couldn't remove the Zionist colony, we couldn't fight the Zionists because they're too strong and we would not be able to fight them, Iran has inadvertently let the cat out of the bag and demonstrated, yes, it can. So Iran, like many of the other big Muslim countries in the area, always had the capability, but they chose not to use it. People will talk about, Iran in the past fired missiles at the Zionist colony. In April 2024, when Iran did fire some missiles and projectiles across, this was very choreographed. They gave notice that they were doing this. The Arab rulers knew that the missiles were coming and they took many of them out. Even the Zionist colony was prepared for these missiles. So it was very choreographed. Even in response when America attacked the nuclear facilities, even the Iranians were given notice beforehand. And in response to that, Iran gave notice to the Americans when they bombed the base in Qatar. So it was all very civil, all very choreographed. But what's happening now is very different. The Iranians have cooperated with the Americans in the past.
In case of Afghanistan, Iran did everything to cooperate with America in order to topple the Taliban.
2001, war on terror, when again the US invited Iran to cooperate. It was impossible without Revolutionary Guard cooperation.
بحث افغانستان ایران کمک کرد به آمریکایی‌ها، یعنی کمک ایرانی‌ها نبود. در افغانستان ما در افغانستان مشکل پیدا می‌کردیم بعد از
But this time the Americans asked for something that was not doable. They wanted them to completely disarm and get rid of their ballistic missiles as well as their supposed nuclear program. This was something the Iranians were not willing to do. They viewed their regime and their national territory as a vital issue. And this exposes the real motive when Iran acts. They act in the national interest, not in the Islamic interest. So the Iranians view their regime and their national territory as more important than Palestine, Masjid al-Aqsa and the blessed land that surrounds it, because they view things through a national lens, not an Islamic lens. And it's not just Iran. The same applies to Egypt, the same applies to Pakistan, and the same applies to Turkey.
There is so much disappointment amongst the Uyghur community that leaders of Muslim countries, including yourself, have not spoken out to condemn these actions.
When you become the Prime Minister, your number one priority becomes, in my case, 220 million people of Pakistan. When that is your number one priority, then you have to be very careful.
The headline coming out of Cairo in your speech was that you were recommending a secular government. A government that had no particular religion, but a government that respected all religions. Is that right?
I would like to go back to the definition that was stated in the 1982 Constitution of Turkey. According to that definition of secularism, the persons are not secular, the state is secular, and the state remains equal distance from all of the faith and religious groups.
The fundamental problem we have is a political problem, and that the Ummah is divided into nation states that act on national interest, and they make enemies of one another.
شعب الأردن الآن ينزل على الشوارع يطالب بالحكومة بعدم التصدي للصواريخ اللي رايحة على الملك عبد الله المعرس بفضل إنها الصواريخ تنزل على رؤوس الشعب وابناء الشعب وعلى الاطفال والكبار ولا تضلها ماشيه على الكيان. ايران ما بتقصد الاردن يا اخوان، خلينا نفهم الحقيقه صح.
ما نبيهم عندنا. شنو يعني حررونا بامريكا بالغزو العراقي، خذوا فلوسهم، خذوا كل شيء يبونه، طلعوهم. احنا يد واحده نصير اكبر قوه في العالم، الكل يهابنا ويخاف. ليه متى ساكتين؟ ليه متى؟ ليه متى كل واحد قافل عليه بابه وقايل انا عايش بامان؟ امانك ما راح يدوم، ما راح يدوم. اللي صار عليهم بيصير علينا.
So this contrasts with, say, Mu'tasim Billah in the past, when news came to him that a single Muslim woman had been violated, and he sent an army on a foreign expedition to hit the strongest city of the Roman Empire in order to teach them a lesson. None of the nation states would ever dream of doing that. Nation states divide the ummah, and not only divide the ummah, they make enemies of one another. And we are seeing that playing out right now in front of our eyes between Pakistan and Afghanistan, where two so-called Muslim nations are fighting one another and killing one another in the blessed month of Ramadan. So if an army like Iran, which has been severely crippled by sanctions over many years, can put up resistance and a fight like they are doing now, just imagine what a unified Muslim army of Turkey, Egypt, Pakistan and Iran could achieve. In fact, the Turkish army alone is capable of removing the Zionist colony in Palestine even before the end of Ramadan. But they will never do this because it's a nation state, not an Islamic state. And that is what we need.